made a part of the record of this proceeding. The notice of public hearing, the affidavit of publication, the letter to the taxing authorities informing them of the public hearing and providing them with a copy of the notice of public hearing and inducement resolution, the affidavit of mailing, and the affidavit of posting. And with that, Natalie, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you. Is there anyone wishing to speak? Go first.
Okay, Maria Sexton, Vestal Town Board Supervisor, and I represent the board. There's a consensus of the board that although the project, they don't have any opposition to the project itself. They do have an opposition to a 22-year tax abatement for the location. This is not something that we sought. This is a project that was proposed and went through numerous departments. Again, nobody opposes the project per se, but the tax abatement was never mentioned beforehand and was never considered. The town board was never consulted or discussed with in any way, and has a very strong objection to that, number one. And number two, with the length and the portion of the tax abatement, we think it's far beyond whatever should be considered. So, a 22-year tax abatement is just not acceptable to us.
Thank you.
Hi, Natalie. May I speak on behalf of the company?
Well, Megan, it's not a question and answer public hearing. It's just this gives the town and the public just, they get to speak for or against the project.
Okay, thanks.
I mean, Chris, do you want Megan? I mean, would it? I guess Chris.
If Megan has something to say as a result, to support the project, that's fine. But we all know the company supports the project, so that it's not necessary that she speak. And you're right, it's not a question and answer. It's for us to gather comments to present to the board so they can make a decision on whether or not to provide the financial assistance.
Okay, I just wanted to add in quickly, the company had requested the standard pilot for residential, so the 20-year pilot. I'm not sure where the 22-year pilot came into play, but just wanted to point that out, that this was the standard pilot requested as part of the program.
Correct. It's a operational 20-year pilot. Because the first 2 years are frozen at the existing tax rate. So the pilot is essentially, 22 years, but operational for 20.
Okay, my name's Glenn Miller. I'm a resident of Vestal. I've looked up some information, got some information about the project, and not being well versed in such things, I did look up what pilot means years ago. Payment in lieu of taxes, yet all I see is a tax. I don't want to say credit, but it's an abatement. I don't see the payment in lieu of taxes. I just see the lieu of taxes part. So I'm not sure I understand that. Plus, normally a pilot involves working with the town, which I don't think has been done, and a reason, compelling reason for the pilot. And I have not heard or seen that reason. So if that could be provided, that'd be a good thing to start with. And as Ms. Sexton mentioned, I think the project's a good project. I'd like to see it come into Vestal. I think it'll be a good thing for the community. It's just this pilot just doesn't seem right. And I would rather see the taxes on the assessment come in normally without the pilot. So I would not be in favor of the pilot.
Thank you. Michael?
Yes, I'm Michael Sherwood, General Counsel of Vestal Central School District. Here, as much to gather information as anything else. I did have a question though that perhaps could be answered. There appears to be a deviation from the pilot. Perhaps someone could re-explain to me what the deviation
Yes,
is.
I certainly will. It's a little misleading. This is a deviation in abatement amount only. So normally our standard 20-year pilot, after the 2 years that are frozen, is at a 90% abatement amount. If this stayed at 90% of the abatement amount, the payment would have been less than the existing taxes. So therefore, we had to change the abatement amount from 90% to 85%. So that's the starting year 3, to make sure that the taxes did not go lower than what they are currently paying. So it's a deviation to the abatement, not into the years.
And then, beyond that, the Board of Education has not had an opportunity to review this in any detail. But I would share some of the sentiments expressed by, Board Member Miller and, Superintendent Sexton, that it appears to be a meritorious project, but we certainly would like to see some more school tax revenue from it if possible.
Chris, that's everyone we have here tonight.
Okay. I guess that concludes our public hearing. Thank you, everybody, for providing us your comments. We'll present them to the board and but they will consider them in making their decision on financial assistance.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
All right,
Thank
take
you.
care.
All right.